So we are now recording. So tonight what we really wanted to cover with our training is just around goal setting. So today in the US, it's August 30th. In Australia, it's August 31st. And traditionally, just so that you guys know, these last few months of the year from a Plexus perspective are usually the biggest months of the year. And so what we thought we would do for this month is we really haven't covered really setting goals and getting yourself set up for this next month to be huge for you and your team. So the first thing that Janell and I talked about is that, hey, if you have a goal without a plan, it's just a wish, right? So if you do not have a plan to achieve that goal, it's probably not going to happen. If you don't have a plan to walk through that and get those things accomplished, it's not going to happen. So the first part of that, though, is that you actually have to set a goal before you can ever even have it to meet. So what we wanted to cover is the 5 reasons you should write down your goals. Janell and I have been probably tracking our goals for the last year maybe, Janell? And yeah. I think that has made a really big difference with both of us being able to move forward in our businesses because we've actually had very specific goals. We've been able to work towards them and have them documented in a way that makes them easier to actually obtain because you have them written down. So let's talk about the 5 reasons why you actually need to put them down on paper and not just be thinking about them in your head or just trying to remember what they are. The first reason is it will force you to clarify exactly what you want. And I like this because what that's going to do is when you start writing down, okay, what are my goals? You have to know, what do I actually want out of this month? What do I think is realistic? How do I write that? How do I articulate that and put that down into a goal? Also, it's going to motivate you to start taking actions. So a lot of times, and I know I've done this, and I'm sure Janell has too, is that I may not have thought about something that I actually needed to do until I look at my goal sheet, I write it down on my goal sheet, and I'm like, man, I need to get working on like these few things because if I'm going to have that as my goal for this month, then I've got to take these actions if I'm ever going to achieve it by the end of the month. So that's a big thing here is that if you have those goals, if you've clarified what you want, it's going to motivate you to be able to actually take action. Also, it provides a filter for other opportunities. So you guys know, right? We post stuff on the team page all the time. There's stuff on Pink Diamonds that's happening. There's new things that people are suggesting every 5 minutes. Well, guess what? If you don't have anything that you're working towards, you're not going to know what you should include or what you shouldn't include in your month as far as activities that you're working on. And all you have to do is look at your goals and say, well, is this new thing that came up, this bright, shiny object, is that actually going to help me achieve my goals or not? And if it's not, then what you can say is, okay, well, that's not an opportunity that right now I want to take advantage of. That doesn't mean you can't take advantage of it later, but maybe that's not something that will fit into the prioritized goals. Janell?
And Amanda and I have actually, we discuss a lot of our game plans together. And I will say and tag her in different Senior Ruby posts of, hey, what do you think of this? And she'll say, I don't really think that aligns with what we're trying to do right now. Or our team isn't ready for that task just yet, but we can use it another time. But we both have that clarity of where we want to take the team and where our personal businesses are going, that we're able to kind of bounce off of each other and say oh, that's not really what we're going with. So you can even run a goal past us or an idea and make us your soundboard too, because we have each other and we're more than willing to bounce that ideas around for you.
Yeah, perfect, Janell. Great point. The other thing that's going to really help you do is overcome resistance. So you might think what the heck does that mean? Well, I know that if I personally want to sponsor ambassadors during the month, that guess what? I'm going to have to do my IPA. I'm going to have to actually reach out to new people. I'm going to actually have to follow up with people. I'm going to have to follow through with those things. So a lot of times we have this internal resistance against certain types of activities. And whether that's personal development, or whether that's getting customers or talking to new people, or even posting on Facebook, if you have that you've got to have those goals, guess what? It helps you overcome that personal resistance, because you're like, hey, I got to get past this if I'm ever going to achieve these goals. Also, one of the things I think it's been amazing for, and in fact, it really was interesting when I was planning this training for tonight, is I saw some of our old goals, like back in November, back in January. And really, it just reminds you of, wow, look at how far we've come. Look at how much we've been able to achieve, and our team has been able to achieve in this time frame. That's amazing. And then you can actually celebrate it. But guess what? If you never wrote it down, if you never realized that goal, then you're like, yeah, I think I was planning on doing that like sometime in January or sometime in March, but you don't know. And if you have these goals, you can go back and say, hey, those were my goals. I met those goals. So that part's really amazing. So make sure you're writing them down. So Janell, let's talk about what types of goals we should set, because I don't know, but I think there's probably a few people on this call that haven't gone through the process of setting goals. Probably recently or at all.
Right. So don't think of goal setting as overcomplicating your life, your goals, anything, your business. It can be pretty simple, but here's some ideas of what you can do for starting your Plexus business goals. So how much PV do you want in, or how much do I want in PV this month? So I don't know if y'all can see, but behind me is my goals. So I set my PV and I write it in blocks of 500, because my minimum I want to make every month is 500. Now, you might just want enough to points qualify. That's fine too, and that's 100 PV. Put that down. I want the 500 PV so that I can get to 25%. How many new customers do you want to recruit? How many of existing customers do I want to order? And these all don't have to be, just so you know, on your goal list.
So the thing is, when I was adding these two around the existing customers to order and the new customers, I was thinking specifically of the Consistency Club. And we posted about that on our page after convention this year. But to qualify for Consistency Club 300, you have to have a couple of new customers. Then you also have to have some existing customers order. Same thing for Consistency Club 500. You actually have to have 5 existing customers order and at least 3 new customers order. So keep those. That's one of the reasons I put how many existing folks do you want to have, and then also how many new customers are you going to be recruiting. Because if you're going to meet those goals for the Consistency Club itself, you need to be keeping those in mind as you're recruiting.
Yeah, definitely. And then I put how many new ambassadors do I want to join the team. So where you all are right now in your businesses would keep it at how many new people are you guys adding to your team. Not how many your team's adding, it's how many are you personally adding. So Amanda and I's goals, you'll see them soon. It'll be different levels. That's not you. So keep it simple of how many more people, how many friends, neighbors, mom, sister, etc. are going to be joining my team, or do I want to join my team this month? How many days am I targeting to complete my DMO? So if you work only 3 days a week, then that's the target. You work those 3 days. If you work all 5, then you completed all 5. How many events do I host this month to help my team or help my team host? So on my list this week, I had 4 sip and sees, which we've completed 3, and PJ parties. And I also do team training. So I include my sip and sees and my PJ parties as part of like Katie's launch this last weekend, etc. So you can plan more of those. And how many trainings do I want to attend or listen to? This is important, guys, because it's holding yourself accountable. So I put on there 8 trainings that Amanda and I are hosting. And we've done our 4, and then I did 4 individual ones outside of Amanda for us Australians. So, and what's for personal development am I completing this month? So I have Read Go Pro, which is a book, and that may or may not be on your list right away. That's okay. What rank do I want to achieve or want my team to achieve? So even like, do I want to align myself for gold? So I know when I first thought I was going to go gold, I told even our Sapphire Stephanie, I was like, I'm going gold this month. She's like, oh, okay. And I really thought I was. But really what I had done is I had aligned myself with having 20 ambassadors underneath me, but probably like 10 of them had signed up that month. So I had aligned myself to go gold that next month, which made more sense once I learned the compensation plan. So you can align yourself and say, okay, well, in September, I'm going to align myself to then have those 20 ambassadors to go gold. And that is a great goal to have. Are there any special contests that I'm trying to qualify for? So Amanda and I have been working really hard, and I know Kayla has too, on getting to Leaders Retreat. And that was a certain amount of credits we had to earn with Plexus. But is there contests Amanda and I are holding, Pink Diamonds are holding, Team Eigenhorst is holding, that you can qualify for? And add personal, community, and.
Yeah, sorry. So I meant to finish that sentence.
Yes.
So what I recommend is that you start with your Plexus business goals, right? As you get more familiar with setting those goals every month, keeping those goals in mind, watching them, achieving them, then what you might want to consider doing is looking at goal setting across a bigger portion of your life, right? Your Plexus business is one of those segments of your life, but it's not your whole life. If it was, that'd be totally fine, but it probably shouldn't be. So think about some other areas in your life where you might want to set some goals. I know for myself, I usually track weight loss goals that I'm working towards, or types of community contribution that I want to make, whether it's doing a charitable event for that month, or doing some type of donation, or spending my time with certain people. And then the same thing from a personal perspective, like what relationships might you want to invest in, or what types of personal goals do you want to achieve? Maybe you want to bike 100 miles that month, or 100 kilometers, or whatever. Basically keep those things in mind, that as you get more comfortable with setting goals, it's great to do that for other areas of your life too.
So let's have a look at the different types of goals. So the January goals, is that mine?
No, it's actually Jess's.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Jess Frost is on our team, and this is her January goals. She wanted 4 customers, 2 more ambassadors, her personal PV, and to lose 2 Ks. So that's not as high tech as Amanda's goals this month that we're currently in. And that's okay, because that's where she was at. So all we're asking and wanting you to do is think about, if there was no objections in your way, and if everything fell into place perfectly, what would your goal be? Putting something down on paper. I put that I wanted our team to get 30 new ambassadors this month, and we're, I think, at 25 or
24.
Guys, I am not thinking, I failed, I'm 6 short. No, I'm thinking, heck yeah, we totally almost made it. What if I wanted 7 and I ticked them off early on in the month? Then what else am I striving for the rest of the month? You are not failing if you don't reach your goals. You just adjust and do it again the next month. That is all Amanda and I both see as our goals. Like, it's not a make or break us, our business, our hard work. It's simply putting it in perspective and pushing ourselves further. So, right? Yeah.
Sorry. So what I was going to say is that I liked what I think Stephanie told us, is that you never change your goal. You just move your completion date. Yeah. And I really like that. To Janell's point, right? Yeah, we may not have added 30 ambassadors during this month, but probably by the 10th of September, we will. So if you move that end date, and then the other thing I want to mention is make sure they're stretch goals, right? Don't just plan for the minimum. Don't just plan for something that's really easy for you to get, because you really want to stretch yourself. You want to be striving towards something. And the higher you set that bar, the more you're going to strive towards it.
Yeah. So Amanda does different, she's good about her business goals, like completing her DMO, self-talk, personal development, etc., as well as our Zoom calls, team member to silver. So things change as you grow your business. So start simple, send it over. I once, I'm going to use you, Amanda, as an example. Make it something, unless this is on the next slide, make it something concrete. So put how many customers you want and allow yourself to tick them off. Put how much PV you want. I like that just started at the 250. And even start at the 100 so you know your points qualified and you're going to get paid next month. And then go 250, then 500. Give yourself those smaller stepping stones where Amanda and I have that customer base underneath us, and you're growing your customer base. So keep that in mind. The other thing is, go to the next one. I think that was my point and I've forgotten it. Nope, I forgot. So go ahead, Nance.
All right. So we were talking about how should I set my goals. So you want to make sure that you're framing them in a positive, right? That you're always saying, I'm going to do this. It's not a question mark. It's not a maybe I'm going to make it. No. It's absolutely going to be very, very positive and very definite. You also want to make your goals SMART, and this is just an acronym. And basically what it means is that you want them to be very specific. So to Janell's point, you want to say exactly how many.
That was what my point was.
Yes. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not just saying, I want to get customers. No, how many customers do you want to get, and make it a stretch. Right? You want them to be measurable, which is exactly what we're talking about here. You want to have something where, did you make 500 PV or didn't you? There's no like maybe about that. It's either you did or you didn't. Did I actually sign up 3 ambassadors or didn't I? Yes or no. It's great because it's very measurable about, yes, I made it or I didn't. They also do need to be attainable. So they need to be stretched, but don't make it that, hey, this month I think I'm going to sign up 100 ambassadors. Well, realistically, look at where you've been and say, I would love to sign up 100 ambassadors every week. Perfect. But more realistically, it looks like I usually average around 3 or 4 a week, or that's what I'd like to average this month. So that way you can make them more attainable. You also want to make sure they're relevant. So like Janell was talking about, personal development may not be your top priority right now. Just get the daily method of operation down, right? Just focus on that. Some of these things may not be in your sphere of attainability right now. So you may not have team members that you need to help to get to silver, but guess what? In the future, you absolutely will. And I like that we set our goals on a monthly basis because it really makes them time bound. You have to achieve these goals within this month. Otherwise, you're going to have to erase the board, start over again for the next month. And also make sure. Go ahead.
Sorry. I know Amy Paul, the diamond, actually breaks hers down in a week. So make the goal setting appropriate for you. She says she can't even think like a whole month in advance. So you can do your overall month goal and then break it down. So this week I really want to focus on getting my 4 new ambassadors and 2 customers. Next week I'm going to do 3 more ambassadors, so forth. So it doesn't have to be as overwhelming if that seems daunting to you.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Janell. The other thing you want to do is make sure that your goals motivate you. So with Plexus, really our focus is around growing our businesses, right? So make sure that those goals really are in line with what you want to achieve in your business. So your long-term goal might be that, hey, I want to make gold. Well, that should motivate you, right? That should motivate you. Be like, okay, I want to make gold because I want the $250 bonus. I want to make gold because I want to get the little gold pin. I want to do these things because, and they really motivate you. And then that way you can look at, hey, I need to get these ambassadors. I need to get this PV and these customers to make that goal of getting to gold. Also, we talked a little bit about this already. Make sure they're related to your priorities. So for most of the people here on the call, the big priorities are around reaching out to new people, following up with existing people. Those really should be your top priorities. So make sure that the things that you're doing align with that. And then also, this is something I didn't do for a while, and I think it caused some problems. Make sure you put your goals where you can see them. Do not do what I did, and I put them aside one time, and I tucked them back in a corner, and then I got them back out when I was ready to make my goals for the next month. And guess what? Like, I didn't make any of them. Not helpful. Not a helpful place for them to be. So make sure you're posting them in your office, wherever you work, on your mirror in the morning, wherever you're going to be seeing them on a regular basis, reminding yourself of what you're trying to achieve. And it's great because then you can start marking off like, hey, look at this. I already got these things done. Awesome. What's the next thing that I need to do? So it keeps you in that action. So Janelle, what do they need to do now?
So I want each and every one of you, so we have Amanda, Katarina, and Katie, and Beck on the call. So what I want is to see each of you today, Wednesday the 31st, because y'all are in Australia, write your goals. And then I want you to post them on the thread that had our training today. Now, each of you have commented, maybe not Katarina, you might have, on our going silver, but each of you are going for gold. So, and that's our group. And it's with Beck Catton, Beck who's on this call. She's the Sapphire here in Australia. We're doing it together. And guys, this is one of the tasks you have to do to stay in the group and keep going. So you're gonna jump the queue and finish your job before the group even starts. But it also sets you up for success for September so that you have it outlined, you're ready to go, and you know what your game plan is. I know I have coaching calls with some of you this week, and we can iron it out if we need to, or change it, add, subtract as needs be, but put in a shell of what your goals are so far, and we can even grow from there. That's what I would challenge each of you guys, ladies, to do today and share it on the team page. Yep. And Amanda and I will be doing the same, don't you worry. Like, I don't necessarily want to erase my board yet because I want to tick off the last few things, but I will write it on a piece of paper.
Perfect, and you can copy it to your board.
Right. Does anyone have a plan or a question? Or a plan. Y'all can have a plan. I can unmute you.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, not for me.
Perfect. So these will be great to see you guys' goals and just get them up and just start this month off right. I mean, this is the best way to do it, is to start having that plan, right? You want to turn it from a dream into an actual plan and a goal and be able to achieve that. So that's really the important thing, and I think this will really help with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping on. Those of you at work, with kids, with life, and I cannot wait to see each and every one of your goals. And Katie, I would encourage you share with Megan. If you guys have somebody else on your team, maybe a spouse, power partner, whomever, share with them what you've learned and ask them to write their goals with you, like, so that you guys do it together at the same time. So, all right. Have a great day. Mans, anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.